Hey everyone, it's the House Mouse here. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining and welcome new subscribers. I'm so glad you're all here. So today I have a flea market haul. I went to a local flea market last weekend. I was hoping to find some things for around the house, but that didn't happen. However, there was a vendor there who had a table full of books as well as a table full of other paper ephemera and those kinds of things. So I'll just share with you what I found. We're at the dining room table today just so I could spread things out and stage them for you, and hopefully this won't take too long, and hopefully the cats won't disturb us as well. So we'll take a look. I did find several antique books. They're not in the best condition, but that's okay. I still wanted them anyway. This little here, hopefully everything is in frame. Okay, we have a book of poetry here. And I feel like we looked at the old Macmillan imprint just a little while ago. So I'll link a previous book haul video for you. So this is 1922. And just some nice small pages. There we go. And then this book is Drayton's Poetical Works, Volume 2. There's a little bit of, hopefully the camera is catching it, a little bit of debossing on the top and on the back cover. And nice little bookseller sticker at the bottom. And this book was interesting because it is unopened at the top. So these leaves were larger and then folded into quarters and then bound into the book. And from what I understand, this condition is called unopened, not uncut, but unopened. But some really nice printer's marks that you can see there. So I don't know, to open or not to open. I think I want to maybe take one of the signatures out and open them up all the way to see how the actual folio looks. But so that was interesting there. This funny little book is about sanitary plumbing. This is volume 2, about hot water supply and circulation by R.M. Starbuck. Apparently he was well known for his plumbing expertise. And there's diagrams and instructions and questions and answers. So anything you could want to know about your water supply. There you go. And of course this cute little cover as well. This is a copy of Evangeline by Longfellow. You can see, hopefully you can see the spine. It is quite grubby and damaged on the cover, but that's okay. I think if this were to be used for a journal, that could be covered up with some fabric. Lots of people had a hold of this book, and it's got, let's see, portrait of Longfellow himself. And there's also some biographical information, the epic poem itself. There are some illustrations and also pictures from Longfellow's life, his house and those kinds of things. So there's a glossary at the back as well. So really neat. Here, let's take a look at this little, there we go. And then this is the last of the antique books, and it is, again, also very badly damaged, which is a shame because it looks like it may have had a nice little floral motif on the cover. It is The Friendly Road, and here's another little motif along the spine. It looks like it may have actually been dumped in water or something because the pages are also water damaged at the bottom. And this paper is kind of that very slick paper. And I don't know if that has any particular name, but it is kind of almost glossy feeling. So, and there are some neat little sketches and illustrations in here as well as some color plates, so that's nice. So I think this would make actually a lovely little journal. I think, again, covering up the front, but still it's a nice size and I like it. So we'll see what we can do with that. Then this is just a vintage book, Young Eagles. This is about, I think, two friends starting a plane or an airline business. And this is just regular pulp paper, nicely aged, nice vanilla color on it. And it almost looks like this was used for some kind of dart practice because there are little pinholes in it that go through the cover and through several pages of the book. So no illustrations in this one that I could find, but again, nice size, nice color. So, and then this is a copy of Greyfriars Bobby, about the little dog. This, of course, takes place in Scotland, and I have actually started to read it. So I've got my bookmark there. This is not an antique edition. This is a vintage edition, but still the book itself was written over 100 years ago. So, and yeah, this will be added to my Scotland collection. And again, I'll link that video from the last book haul. I had several books, Scottish inflected books in that haul as well. So there's that. This was just a little recipe book, one of those kind of giftable, like probably from someone's gift shop at a museum. And I thought this kind of maroonish color would be nice for fall journals. So, and of course there's probably some really delicious recipes in here as well. So there's that one. And this is a reproduction of a catalog. I think it's from the 80s, but it had all of these wonderful illustrations of old clocks. And I thought for a minute, oh, I could fussy cut all of these clocks, but that may not be feasible, but certainly these could be used as pages in journals as well, or as accents. So interesting. And I might even try tea dyeing a couple of these pages as well to see how that takes, but I don't know. I was hemming and hawing about it, but I thought, let me just take it because it is pretty neat. So, and then in the ephemera area, let me just make sure you're still going. I found some bits and pieces. I found a few little odds and ends, like this here, this little photograph of this young man. And I found a little negative of a couple, here, let me see if I can get this, couple little dapper gentlemen there. I found this baby card, and it is constructed as if it's like a little book. So it looks like it's got leaves and pages, but it's just a few little pages with a poem on it from Aunt Marie. So, and then I found these beer labels. They were neat. This is the first time I found like food labels, and so that was pretty neat in this extremely disreputable little sleeve. So I'll remove them to another location. And then they also had this. This is one of those collectible edition of reproduction prints from Audubon, and these are his birds. And there were several of them, and hopefully, here, let's see if I can get this to a point where you can see, hopefully you can see some of them, but there were several of the actual Audubon prints in here. Just go through them quickly. And I may actually use some of these for decor, so that will be nice. That's a pretty one. And just a little separator page. It's a nice one. Some lovely little hummingbirds. Nice flamingo. And there was this print as well, which looks like it was cut out of a book, and it's a different illustrator. But this was nice, the pair of cardinals, and then some kind of North American wildflowers as well. So those are all of those. And again, I may just neaten up the sides of that one and frame it because I think that's really pretty. So get this all back in its case. I'll fuss with that later. And then, still recording, okay. And then I found this. It's a portrait in its original mounting, and it's just this, oops, let's go. This lovely lady, and I'm not really sure why I took it, but I couldn't leave her there, so maybe I'll set her up somewhere. And I also like, pardon my cat in the background, I also liked, this gatefold was very interesting, and I loved the scalloped edge along the top and this little tab that actually tucks in. So maybe that's something that we can try to reproduce on a smaller scale. So, and then the last thing I'll show you today, or not the last thing I'll show you, but the last set of things is I did find this scrapbook, and it is crumbling, and that's why it's in this tray, but I just couldn't resist. It's the first time also that I found a scrapbook. I'll try to flip through a few pages for you. There's lots of clippings. There are some pieces of memorabilia from trips and vacations. These clippings range from the 1940s to the early 50s. Hopefully some of this is showing up. There we go. So again, it is crumbling. I will try to save what I can, but the actual newspaper clippings are pretty well stuck down there. But there are some tickets and things that I might be able to rescue. And then there's a lot of blank pages in the back, so those will be nice to use as backgrounds for collage. So that's that. Here, I'll move this out of the way. There, it's already shedding a little bit. When I was going through the scrapbook the first time, there were a bunch of newspaper clippings and some greeting cards and artwork in the back, and they mostly had to do with this young man. His name is Alan, and here he is at Christmas time in 1942. And Alan was born, I have two of these, two of his birth announcements here. He was born in 1940. Cute little announcement. And he was a sturdy lad, and he did things like go to vacation Bible school, and he participated in plays, and he was in the Boy Scouts. And as far as I can see, this was his grandfather's scrapbook, and there are several cards from Alan to his grandfather. This one is absolutely adorable. Here, I'll hold him up. Sorry about that. There he is. This adorable little fold-out card. It's Father's Day, and it says, here, hopefully you can see the whole thing. It says, "Do you know what? I think you're grand. The nicest grandpa in all the land." And it's love, Alan. So very sweet. And then there were other little pieces. Most of the greeting cards in this collection were actually just the fronts. Apparently the backs were ripped off so that the front could just be saved in the scrapbook. So this is actually a postcard. So there's not a lot of them that have the actual greeting, but this one does. So this is nice, complete one. But most of them were just the front. So we'll go through those quickly. But I was pleased to find them, and I think it's just really neat to look through them. Hopefully we're getting these on camera. And I thought it was nice to see this nice little sweet deer. He's actually kind of flocked almost on this little floral background. You can see how the glue has left a mark on the back. So I just thought this was so sweet, this little remembrance of Alan and his grandfather. Again, I wish I had the full cards, but you can see they've been just ripped off. Another one to Grandpa. And this one, Grandpa Deer. And this is kind of Hickory Dickory Dock. You can see the little mouse at the bottom. This one was nice, this little flower cart. And that was one of the few complete ones. This one with a duck for Grandpa's birthday. It's even got a little feather attached. Also again from Alan. Just very sweet, very sweet. So let's see, last couple, and then some artwork from Alan. He drew this building with steam coming out of its stack. And kudos to Alan for, in true junk journal style, he reused something. This is a price list. A little essay he did about the earth. So fun. Ooh, this one was torn, but a little pilgrim that he drew at Thanksgiving time. He got full marks for his spelling. And he drew this lighthouse and the water and a couple little a boat and a pier as well. So really nice. So that's it for today, just a little haul. And I'm hoping to use some of these things in upcoming projects and journals. And until then, I hope you're doing really well. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.